Jay here, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome. You know, if you're into relationships and Christian lifestyle and helpful tips, then this is the place for you, and I encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can get updates on all of my upcoming videos that you don't want to miss. Also, if you're interested in JohnsonTeam apparel, you can purchase my merchandise by clicking the link in the description box below. Let's get right into the video. Today, I just wanted to provide a little bit of encouragement for those of you who are waiting for a spouse. During my single season, I can remember having days where I just needed some motivation and encouragement in regards to waiting for my future husband. Like some days it's good and I was on top of the world and just really feeling my single season. And then there were other times where I really just needed that motivation. I really just needed that encouragement. I loved looking at photos and reading testimonies of other women who waited on God and received his best. Like for me, that was like the best thing ever. It was just so inspiring and encouraging. And it had me like ready, pumped up, almost like a little pep rally. If you're anything like I was and need a little bit of motivation, then this video is for you. First of all, for those of you who don't know my story, you can always go back and check previous videos, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown here. So during my single season, I got to know people, I experienced the ghosting and the breadcrumbing, and I experienced many ill-fitting matches. I dealt with breakups and heartbreaks and frustration. I had thoughts like, Lord, where is the guy for me? Because I've expended all of my options. I have no idea where he possibly could be. At this point, I give up because I've done everything that I possibly can in my power and it's just not working. So I give up. Okay, that was kind of like my final straw. I had gone through all of that, and I just decided going into a new year that, because it was the end of a year, going into a new year, I decided that I would just trust God and not even worry about a relationship or where my future husband was going to come from, because I just could not see it at that point anymore. So apparently me and my now husband had crossed paths here on YouTube back when I was 22, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't notice it. We had some exchanges and I just really wasn't paying attention, but he did send me messages. I responded to messages back when I was 22 years old, and we also had some interactions on Twitter back then as well. It was completely platonic and friendly conversation, but I just really didn't think anything of it at the time. At the age of 26, so 4 years had passed, we didn't really communicate anymore. I'd heard from him on YouTube. That was it. It was nothing. It wasn't a big deal. By 26, I had heard from him again on Twitter. We communicated platonically as friends in the Twitter DMs, which again, it was just like talking to a friend. We had realized that we were both from the same state. We were both born in the same state. In one of his profile pictures, he had a hat that I recognized the basketball team from the place that we were from, and that was kind of like the conversation starter for us, and we just had platonic, friendly conversation. It didn't go anywhere. Nothing happened. I don't even think either one of us were thinking about anything romantic. Well, we weren't thinking about anything romantic. It was literally just like talking to a friend. So I thought nothing of it. By the age of 27, we reconnected again on Twitter after some time of not having conversations. And it was then that there was like this shift that happened, and things began to progress and go beyond something just platonic. After continued progression of the relationship and texts turned into phone calls and video chatting, we ended up meeting in person because it was a long distance relationship, and he came to visit me and he met my family, and we began courting and visiting each other pretty much once a month. By the age of 28, I was married. We got married, and that whole process was actually really, really quick. So we reconnected, and met in person. We courted for about 7 months before we got engaged. And then we got married about 5 months after we got engaged. And so everything happened very quickly within about a year and a couple months. But it was such an awesome time and an awesome season, and just being able to see the hand of God in that situation. So the lesson here is that God's timing is perfect. Notice how I had met my husband years and years ago. Like, I was 22 and we first interacted, and I had no idea that I had talked to my husband. Can you imagine? Like, I had already had conversations with my husband. I had already interacted with him multiple times and didn't even know it. And so I was there floundering around trying to make things work with other people, not knowing that I had already met the man that I was going to marry. Like, mind blowing, right? It's crazy. So the lesson is that God's timing is perfect, and that you should rest in him and trust in him and his timing, because he knows what's best, especially when you want his best. He's got you. He hasn't forgotten about you. No matter what the situation looks like or how long that seems to be taking, he has a plan for your life. Me personally, back then, I wasted so much time and money trying to make something happen on my own. I didn't even realize I'd already met my husband. Had I known that, I wouldn't have spent the money that I spent on dating sites at that time. I wouldn't have wasted the time trying to see who might be a match on social media or whatever the case is. But the thing is, it just wasn't time for my husband to be revealed as my husband until the time that he was revealed. Timing is everything. I tried to make relationships work that were just not working. I tried to hang on to people that were already expired in my life. And I sometimes struggled to trust God in that area of my life, to be completely honest. And that's because I couldn't see exactly what he was doing. Really, he was doing something amazing in my life all along, and I just couldn't see it yet. So if you're waiting, relax, be encouraged. Everything's going to be just fine. Trust God and be led of him. Know that he has a purpose and a plan for your life, and that purpose and plan will prevail as long as you surrender to him and trust him. Like, give this area of your life to him, because you can totally trust him and he won't let you down. He knows what he's doing. So trust him completely. Don't be like me, wasting time, wasting money for no reason. Don't even do it. God's time is perfect. He knows what he's doing. He hasn't forgotten you. It's all going to work out. One day you'll look back on this season that you're in right now and just be able to see all that God was doing and had been lining up that you just couldn't see in that moment. It's the coolest thing ever. It's totally worth trusting him. So that's what I want to encourage you to do today. And hopefully you did find this video encouraging. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and go ahead and share it with someone that you feel that it would encourage. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.